Welcome back to part 2 of the Little Tree series. This one is another Chinese elm. This was grown from a root cutting from another larger Chinese elm that he had. Set it off to the side, let it grow, worked on it, whenever he could. He's worked on it for it to have all the different angles, twists, and turns on it already. 呢棵樹大概幾大啊？
呢啲樹差唔多有7年嘅啦。
係種條根種出嚟。
根種出嚟。
So from the time that he potted it to now, it's roughly about maybe 7 years. And grew this from a root. 嗰條根係幾粗㗎？
呢根啊。
幾粗㗎？
大約都係比呢細一半。
比呢條根再細一半。
細 half 到啦。呢
條根。
全部呢扎根。
Oh, so I was asking him how big was the root that he cut out.
你睇呢啲全部長出嚟㗎嘛？呢條根長，呢條枝出嚟。
條根係響呢度停到係咪？
係啊。
So
咁再長呢條 branch 出嚟。
So these are the roots that he planted.
再長呢度啦。
This is the cutting. So this was where this is the first cut right here.
Yeah.
So from here, this is the root that was discarded. This was like when he was working on the big tree. This was trash.
Yeah,
so he took it and he planted it. So from that root, he grew, the trunk off of it. So then it grew just like this chopstick, out this way. And then once it kind of got to a certain length, he cut it right here. And then when he cut it right here, he was waiting for the other branches to kind of grow out. So, with this one, that one, so 3 of them. He had 3 of them, 3 of those grow out. And then once that very top one got to a certain thickness, yeah, so that one's same. He got it to grow a certain size that he wanted. He cut and then waited for the budding to come out, more branches, and then additional cuts. So this is all a part of the clip and grow method. So every time you cut, you wait and wait for it to kind of bud and grow out, and then cut again. He says you can actually count how many years by however many cuts there is on this tree. Starting from this one, right? So this is like the first cut when this is the original cut. So then, from there to here was 1 year. 1年係咪? About approximately. I mean, it depends on how thick it is. He wants it a certain size before he cuts it. He needs a certain size before he makes the cut. So from that point up there, and then down over there to where he's pointing, where his chopstick is. So that's 1, 2, 3 already. And then up 1 more, 4, 5 cuts, 6, 7. And then that's the 8th cut right there. And then of course, as he works his way up, because this is a smaller tree, it's not, 1 a year, but he said roughly this one, 7-8 years that he's grown. Usually when you're taking a cutting and trying to grow it, it doesn't really grow that fast or that big that very first year. It doesn't really kind of take off until after the first year. So 7-8 years in this little Chinese elm. So this is 7 years, and of course, this is something he worked on in his spare time, and then he also kind of get the other branches, the other turns to on each of the pads and the branches going up. 呢條根種嗰時你係咪已經拉高到佢㗎啦？
原來我條根要長啲。
你種嗰時？
我留條根長啲，我要種啲特別嗰啲樹啊嘛。
This one, the root on it was where he's holding it. It was actually the root. So what he did was he made sure he left more of the roots on there. So he planted half of the roots into the ground and exposing this portion of it.
你睇啲根嚟種啊嘛。如果啲根好嘅，可能我嚟做咩？我嚟做腐石啊，咁一大堆都得噶嘛。佢啲根長就可以腐石，即係咁嘅意思啦。我哋講即係要睇啲根長成點，你利用嗰啲根嚟做乜嘢？即係咁嘅意思。
And then for something like this, because of the roots, when he was planting it, you want to kind of take a look to see if there's other possibilities of what you can do with it too. Kind of like the root over rock method. This is a good tree or a starting tree, with roots like that can be turned into the root over rock style. But it's also just very unique to the way it is, where it's exposed. Có條蟲啊，係咪啊？
嗰啲黃圈
捐到入去嘅咩？
有泥有㗎啦。
佢點捐入去嘅？
佢啲泥變㗎嘛。
嚇？
嗰啲泥會變㗎嘛。佢有啲細菌咧就咪變成。
啲泥變出嚟。
因為佢有細菌啊嘛，有細菌咪形成嘅。你唔知啲泥喺邊度攞翻嚟㗎嘛？
哦，佢已經有少少嗰啲蛋係咪？
係啦，你要繁殖嗰啲咁嘅嘢。
So I saw a little worm that was in there. One of these right here. Where is it? Where did it go? This one. That right there. And I was a little surprised to see it because it was inside the pot in the dirt. So I was asking him where it come from. Okay, so then now he's getting rid of some of the old roots. Ooh, there's more earthworms. Look at that. He also says that, the roots like that, if you throw into the ground, you can it'll sprout more trees. 呢個可以放落地下，佢會自己長出嚟，長啲苗出嚟。
佢一條根就長出嚟㗎啦。
咁要種幾耐嗰啲苗？
咁你睇你要幾粗啦？嗱，好依啲根可以種嘅，即係依啲根可以種。
So like
一開二就可以種。
Like a root like this that he just cut off that we don't need anymore. Something like this. You can use this to grow and propagate another Chinese Elm out of it. So same thing like with this. And then so you have stuff like this when you're cleaning out, repotting. You can basically take these and grow them, and you'll have more Chinese Elms. 呢個係咪留返嚟種嘅？
我唔要啦，仲要種。
呢個都係。呢啲可唔可以種落去？等我可以睇下佢大得幾快。
你咪種啦，你自己搞。
I just asked if we can grow this so that I can see how fast it grows, because I don't know. And because we have it, so we can take these right here, and we can pot them and see how fast they grow. And that is the pot that we're going to put this one in. 條根唔使剪再細啊！
我先放咗先，我 check 你啱唔啱？仲要剪入添。
He's going to have to cut it a little bit more too. So you wanted to see what it looks like and how it fits in the pot. 呢啲轉到細盤咧，佢唔會再大㗎，係咪？
唔會㗎啦，
除非你換盤。
Yeah.
So for something like this, once you put it into a small pot, it's going to really not grow as much. It's going to slow down the growth of the tree substantially. Oh, Shinbin. Yeah.
要長
So that's the front. Looking good.
係咪？
Yes. Look at that.
係咪？
Yes. It looks good. 好睇？
咁我要放啲嚟啦。
喺前邊嗰度係咪揾翻佢唔要嗰個
窿
呢個窿窿係咪呢個
要
？So
喺入款前
yeah, so pay attention to like these little divots in the bottom of the pot.
Yeah.
When you're potting and you're trying to get the the front of it, make sure you
你唔好
take
睇
a
到
look
佢嗰個窿啦。
take a look at it too to make sure that it's center and not planted right in front of one of those little divots.
即係一定唔好睇到嗰個門嗰個窿嗰個腳啊！即係我哋可以咁樣揸住。
Oh, hold on. Try like one more time. See, he said, make sure when you tighten it, it's, stable, and that when you're holding it and shaking it, it stays intact. Like that. One 條筷子吉啲泥落去，係等佢
即係黐住啲根，唔好等佢離空啊嘛。
So we're using
到
the
時嗰啲
chopstick
新泥一長出嚟就 OK 啦。
to kind of push it down to fill any space or openings between the pot and the root ball. So you're trying to get the dirt to stick to the roots. 等啲泥黐住條根。
到時一長佢咪出啲根黐住，但係又唔好太實啊！我哋太實你好似用機器即係咁樣揼實啲根長唔會出嚟嘅。
I guess there is a art to how to compact it too. You don't want it to be too loose, but you also don't want it to be too hard also, because if it's too hard, then the root's not going to be able to attach to the soil to grow, or it will, but it'll be a lot slower. You want it to pack it in firm, but not too tight. And for this one, we are done. 呢個唔使拉字。係咪？等佢出葉嗰時先至再睇一睇剪。This one, I think it looks good the way it is. We're gonna wait for the new growth to come in, and then we can probably tweak it a little bit and cut it a little bit at that time. So this one is done. 呢一棵樹係咪同嗰一棵樹一條一齊種？ So then the first tree was planted around the same time as this one, so they very likely came from the same big tree that he was working on. So I asked for him to keep those roots. We're gonna plant them, and then that way I can see how fast it grows.